I hear so many of you say, I really want to quit my job, or I hate my job. I'm investing in real estate so that I can quit my job. I'm Sarah Weaver. I'm a real estate investor, coach, speaker, and author of 30 Day Stay, a real estate investor's guide to mastering the medium-term rental. And I quit my job. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what does it mean to be work optional and what do you do all day? The day I realized that I could quit my job was the day that I was making enough money to cover all of my expenses and more. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to first figure out how much money do you spend. And don't worry, this is not one of those videos where I'm going to tell you to make your coffee at home or bicycle to work. I want you to live a life worth living. And for some of you, that's going to look like $12,000 a month. For some of you, that might be $4,000 a month. For some of you, you're thinking those numbers are really, really small and it needs to be way more money than that. Whatever your number is, I want you to have that knowledge. We've heard knowledge is power, but in this case, this could be your ticket to quitting your job. Let me tell you a quick story. I have a real estate coaching client. Let's call her Jill, because that's her name. And Jill came to me and she said, okay, I need to make $10,000 a month and then I can quit my job. I said, great. And so we sat down, we dove into her strategy. We worked on her buy box, her investing strategy. I introduced her to investor-friendly real estate agents. She was well on her way. And then I remembered, wait, I forgot to ask her a question. And I said, Jill, how much money do you spend every month? And not to my surprise, Jill didn't know. So I sent Jill home with one homework, one thing she needed to do. She needed to come back to me for our next coaching call and tell me exactly how much money she spends on average each month. The next call, she arrived and she was ecstatic. She said, oh my God, Sarah, I can't wait to tell you. I was like, tell me what? She says, I spend $6,500 every month. I said, that's great. And I said, what's so shocking about that? And she said, I had no idea. She said, I thought I spent $12,000, maybe even $13,000. I didn't realize I was spending so little. First, I had to applaud Jill on what she had built. She had lowered her housing costs using the house hacking strategy. She had paid off her car. She had no consumer debt, no student loans. So I congratulated her on the life that she had built. And then we said, wait a minute, Jill, how much cash flow do you have from your rental properties? And she said, I don't know, maybe 6,000 or 7,000. I said, no, let's check again. So we went back and we looked at her numbers and being very conservative, setting aside 5% for capital expenditures, 5% for maintenance and repairs, 8% for vacancy, and another 10% for property management, we realized she was cash flowing $5,500 a month. And I told her, I said, Jill, do you think if you had 40 hours back, meaning you were no longer working at the job that you tell me that you hate, do you think you could earn or create an extra $1,000 a month in passive income? And she said, yeah, absolutely. I said, great. Then I want you to quit your job. She left that coaching call, I'm sure a little beside herself, but I gave her one piece of homework. I love giving homework if you haven't seen the theme. I gave her a piece of homework that was, I want you to write your quit letter. And this is something that I want all of you to do. No matter where you are in your investing journey or where you are with your job, I want you to pause this video and I want you to write your quit letter. What the quit letter is, by the way, do not do this in email. Do not do this on your work computer. Do not let your boss find it until you're ready. So what I want you to do is I want you to create this quit letter. And what it is, it's letting your job know that you're resigning. Obviously, you can Google how to do this or you can write it. But what I want you to do is I want you to write this letter and then I want you to immediately either go on a walk or shut your computer, turn off screens. And I want you to really focus on how did that feel? How did it feel to write that letter? And if it felt as good as I think it's going to, then you know it's the right decision. And so with a mentor or another investor, I want you to create a plan so that you can get to a point like Jill, where you can not only write that quit letter, but go ahead and turn it in and leave your job. Because one thing that I believe is that if you had 40 hours back in your life, you're probably going to add passive income faster than you have been the last couple of years while also working a full-time job. I hope that this story is encouraging. I'm not telling everyone to quit their job, but if you want to quit your job, then be like Jill. For those of you that are like, yeah, that sounds great for Jill, but I don't want to quit my job, even better. You don't have to. That's why I call this work optional. I want you to earn enough passive income so that you can choose to work or not. Most people are going to choose to continue working. There's not a lot of people that leave their W-2. It's actually quite rare. I know that Instagram and YouTube, we all make it sound like everybody's doing it. But the reality is most people still keep their job while investing in real estate. Now, if you do decide to quit your job, what does it look like to be a full-time real estate investor? For me, it meant diving head into entrepreneurship. I now run 4 small businesses. However, it wasn't always that way. When I first got started, I thought, yes, I started a business. And then a coach asked me, great, who's your assistant? And I said, well, I don't have one. And he said, if you don't have an assistant, then you're the assistant. I said, okay. I felt a little discouraged by that. And then he said, okay, and now what do you have like for this, and this in your business? And I was like, well, I don't. And he said, I hate to break it to you, Sarah. You don't have 4 businesses. You don't even have 1 business. You have 4 jobs. And a light bulb went off. I realized he was right. I had created 4 jobs for myself. And that was not the whole point of quitting my job, was to get 4 jobs. So what I realized is that I had to really act like an entrepreneur. I read a great book by Dan Sullivan called Who, Not How, and I realized I needed a who. So the first thing I did was I went and hired. And so now what does my life look like as a business owner? I have a team. So I may start my day by checking in with them, either via email, Slack, or Asana, a task management software. Then I structure my week in a way that works best for me. Oftentimes, I don't want to take any meetings on Mondays. Mondays are for catching up. And then Tuesdays are my really heavy meeting day. I'm sure a lot of you have the ability to work remotely. And if you don't have a meeting with a video, you might not be getting ready that day. I'm no different. If I don't have to put a face of makeup on, I'm not doing it. So I try to have all of my video calls on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And these are all calls that I'm looking forward to. If I don't want to meet with someone, I try not to put that on my calendar. It might be someone that my operations manager meets with, or I just stick to email with that person. When you are building a life worth living, you have to be honest with yourself about what you want. And for me, I want to run 4 small businesses. I want to grow and expand, but that might not be the case for you. What I find with some people that reach financial independence through real estate investing is that they want to spend more time on their hobbies. So I have a really good friend. She likes to do ultra races. I think she's insane, but this is something that brings her joy. So that takes a lot of time. She's not just running a 5K. I don't even know how many miles an ultra is, but it's a lot. So she's spending her time doing that. For me, I don't run ultras. Maybe I should, but I spend my time traveling. So I map out all of my travels for that quarter, or in this case, I'm already planning ahead for all of next year. And I'm planning out, what do I really want out of my life? And I make sure that I make those things happen. Lucky for me, I started a travel company because I like to travel. And so now not only do I get to schedule bucket list trips, but I get to invite investors to come along with me. So I created a business that supports my lifestyle and a lifestyle that supports my business. I feel incredibly lucky to have done this, and there's not a lot of luck involved. I made a plan, I created a system, and then I hired people smarter than me to help me get there. And so if there's something that you want to do next year, make a plan, make a strategy, and then ask for help. I think that has been one of the muscles that I've had to get used to using, is the ability to ask for help. So be sure to comment below if there's something that you need. I almost guarantee that someone in the Bigger Pockets community could help you, or even I would love to help you. Because I love giving homework, I'm going to give you one more piece of homework. For those of you that already forgot your first homework, it's write your quit letter. And now your second piece of advice, aka homework, is I want you to pull out a calendar. I actually use a Google spreadsheet so that I can look at the whole year. And I want you to plan your vacation. Yes, vacations. I find a trend as I travel the world that I'm meeting people from Amsterdam and Austria, and they're going on 30 to 60-day vacations. I guarantee that most of you listening have not done a 30-day vacation, and that's not what I'm asking you to do. All I'm asking you to do is to use your vacation days or create vacation days if you're your own boss. So look at the calendar for 2023, and I want you to at least put in 2 trips that you're excited about. For those of you that are like my friend that does the ultra marathons, maybe it's traveling to a new city to do a race, or maybe it's a staycation and it's staying in your own hometown, but putting time on the calendar that these are the days that I'm not going to work and I'm going to focus on something that I love or someone that I love. What I want you to do is I want you to be more intentional about your time in 2023. And for me, that is what being work optional means. Earning passive income through real estate investing has allowed me to schedule in the things that I want my life to look like. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to reach out to me on Instagram at Sarah D. Weaver for more tips on how I buy real estate and travel the world.